Hi there, and welcome to yet another episode in this series about the hygienic design strategy, in which we interview EHEDG company members that have integrated hygienic design into their business development strategy. And with us today is Tim Schrodt. He is the Regional Industry Manager Europe, Food and Beverage at EHEDG Company Member EndressHauser, a global supplier of sensor technology. Mr. Schrodt, great to have you with us today. What is your view on the importance, the relevance of sensor technology related to food safety, food quality, productivity, and sustainability in food processing?
I think the importance will increase because you can improve processes only when you have information. Without information, you are forced to run a process on site or on estimations. But I think if you are able to get reliable, fast process information, then you can really control your processes.
I understand. Better control leads to improved quality assurance eventually. What about optimization of productivity? Does sensor technology also contribute to an ongoing automation of processes?
I think that drives our industry very strong. The degree of automation is very important because the cost pressure of the food industry is really high. So every process which can be automated more saves money, time, makes products more safe. Yeah.
How is hygienic design addressed as a topic, as a working field within EndressHauser on a corporate level?
The product portfolio is not only focused on Europe, it's focused on the global industry. Interesting, for example, that China established new standards for food contact materials. So that's also my job with the other colleagues to get these standards fulfilled, for example, because food contact materials and hygienic design, that goes hand in hand. Yeah.
When exactly did EndressHauser start to embark on this journey into the space of hygienic design?
Yes, I think this started when we decided to develop an industry-focused product portfolio, especially for the food and beverage industry. I think that was in the 90s. And at that time, the membership of EndressHauser was only by individual colleagues. So we didn't have a company membership at that moment. But when I started here as product manager and switched later on after 3 years into the industry manager, I thought now it's time to become a company member, because the topic of hygienic design is not important only for 3 or 10 colleagues here. You have a lot of engineers creating instruments for the food industry. And I think they have to know the principles of hygienic design and have to have access to the know-how which EHEDG provides.
Let's zoom in on some early products that you developed. For example, the mimosans pH sensor. What was the idea behind these new type of sensor products?
The idea behind that was that pH measurement inline was a nightmare for users, because you have to do the calibration of the pH probe on site in the process. So we developed a digital pH probe which stores the calibration data inside the probe, so that the calibration can be done in the laboratory by qualified staff. And if a customer, a worker has to replace the pH probe in the process, he just picks out one probe in the stock in the laboratory and changes it in the facility.
What were the initial hygienic design challenges that you encountered after you joined EHEDG and learned more about that topic?
Yes, one challenge was at the beginning, especially for pressure sensors, to get them condensation tight, because condensation is a huge problem in the food industry. You have cooled products like beer and like milk, and these components which are installed on pipes and on tanks, they have to handle this environment. And so we developed the condensate tight pressure sensor, And I think that was one benefit. The second one was we started to think to get more parameters out of one process device. For example, if you have a flow meter, first you have the flow, the mass flow or the volume flow. But we figured out these instruments are also able to provide information regarding density or viscosity, like the Coriolis flow meter does, or the magnetic inductive flow meter is also able to measure the conductivity. So this can be used for phase detection or to detect residues of cleaning agents, for example.
Let's talk about your clients now. What are their latest requests concerning the functionality of sensor technology?
They try to specify or to use more specified cleaning agents for their processes. So one trend to improve the cleaning processes, but I think also to get more information out of the process, that you are not forced to run the cleaning cycles just by time, then instead the condition.
Okay, so what is your company's response to those requests, and how do you actually integrate hygienic design into your R&D processes?
We are at the moment in the development of fouling monitoring inside sensors, that the customer gets more information about the status of the process. Does he have to start a cleaning now, or can he wait one or several hours longer? We call this heartbeat technology. That's a monitoring and a verification technology. So get more information regarding the status of the device.
And how does hygienic design come into play in this?
I think here the process connection plays an important role. And we also provide own process connections with our instruments. And for example, we had to improve one process connection because when EH decided to change the certification procedure, all process devices have to be recertified. And to get the new certificate for this process connection, we had to do a redesign.
Yes.
And this has been very successful. Now the new process connection is certified. So I think here the EH helps also us to improve our own products, especially process connections, for example.
Tim Schrodt, Regional Industry Manager, Europe, Food and Beverage, Endress+Hauser. Thank you very much for this interview.
Okay, you're welcome. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Dear viewer, does your company also integrate hygienic design into its business development strategy? Let us know by commenting. Put your name down in the comments and we'll get back to you. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.